In this video, we're going to look at another example of finding the domain and range of a function. And of course, by domain, we mean the set of all possible inputs, and by range, we mean the set of all possible outputs. So the function that we have is f of x and y is equal to the square root of 16 minus 4x squared minus y squared. And because we see the square root there, we know that if we take the square root of a negative number, we'll get a complex value. And we're looking for real values of this function, so we want to ensure that what's inside the square root is positive or 0. So we're going to say we're looking for the domain. And we're going to start with 16 minus 4x squared minus y squared must be greater than or equal to 0. And that means that 16 should be greater than or equal to 4x squared plus y squared. And we can move things around a little bit more, and we can say that x squared over 4 plus y squared over 16 less than or equal to 1, which looks pretty close to the equation for an ellipse, except of course we have less than or equal to. So we're going to say, hence, the domain is all real points, and by points we mean ordered pairs x and y, on and inside the ellipse that has the equation x squared over 4 plus y squared over 16 equal to 1. So we get the points on the ellipse because we have equality, and we get the points inside the ellipse because of the less than. So that takes care of our domain. And now that we know how our domain is restricted, we want to think about the range. And so we're talking about the possible outputs now that we know the set of possible inputs. So I'm going to let z equal f of x and y. So z equals 16 minus 4x squared minus y squared. And because we saw when we found the domain that 4x squared plus y squared was less than or equal to 16, we're also going to add to that it's greater than or equal to 0, because x squared is a term that's positive or 0, y squared is a term that's always positive or 0. So when we multiply by a positive number and add those together, we're of course still greater than or equal to 0. And so since we know that, then we can say that 0 is less than or equal to z is less than or equal to square root of 16. Because basically, this line tells us that the most that I'm going to be subtracting from 16 is 16, and the least is 0. So if I subtract 16, then I get square root of 0, which is 0, over here on the left, and if I subtract 0, I get square root of 16 over here on the right. Okay? And we can simplify that a little bit, and we can say 0 less equal to z less equal to 4. And then we say, hence, the range will be all real numbers z between 0 and 4. And so we write the interval 0, 4, and we include the endpoints because we have less than or equal to in both places. All right.